Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today I am doing a guide that was requested. So this is going to be a sphere guide in terms of which EXs should you hold on to and keep to hold on to create spheres. Basically, which spheres are worth keeping and holding on to, which EXs are worth selling off right away if you kind of need the power stones and want to, get rid of them, right? So first thing is that I'll just quickly review how to get spheres in case you're unaware of that. I have covered that in other videos. So the way you get the main sphere or the best sphere is to actually fully max out an EX weapon. So if I go to Enhance Realize, you'll see I have a bunch of, if I scroll down here, all these are like extra EXs that I have. I personally just hold on to all of them, just because even if it's not a sphere I want, you can at least get it to the point of putting a book on it just to get an ingot. And because I have so many excess books I'm never going to use, right? But essentially what you do is if you take any EX weapon and you max out the purple, when they get the purple like this, then you get a sphere, and each character has their own sphere that they obtain. Those spheres can be used on any character you want as long as it's the same typing. And there's no limit to how many spheres you can acquire of the same kind as long as you have enough EXs to refine, right? So that's how you get the main sphere. You can also get refined spheres just through co-op shop exchanges, but the main point of this guide is to talk about which EX weapons are worth holding on to. So the easiest way to do this, because there are a lot of spheres, so I'm going to kind of do like a quick yes, no, and maybe a quick explanation on some. I'm just going to go into any character here. And I'm just going to go like I'm going to put a sphere on Rem. And I'm just going to start at the very, very top. And we're literally just going to go down the line. And I'm going to say, should you keep it or is it okay to get rid of, right? Now, A spheres in general, what you're looking for primarily is attack or brave damage. Max Brave is okay if it's in conjunction with attack or brave damage, but Max Brave alone I don't find as useful. So I feel like if it's Max Brave alone, you probably can get rid of it. So let's just start going through. So first up, we've got Garland. This is attack when you inflict break or attack a target with break. So that's an attack sphere. So yeah, keep that one. Keep Garland. Let's go ahead. Furion. This is just Max Brave when recovering HP. I would say that is one you do not need to worry about keeping. So you could get rid of Furion, extra Furion EXs. Onion Knight. Attack for crit hits. Yes, Onion Knight good. Keep Onion Knight. Cloud of Darkness. Magic attack when inflicting break. Yes, very, very good. Keep Cloud of Darkness. That's a good one. Zonde, when you're doing weakness damage, brave damage and max brave, that is a keepable one because you're getting max brave in addition to brave damage. So yeah, Zonde is worth holding on to. Dark Knight Cecil, int brave and attack. Okay, this one, it's good because you're getting attack, but I don't like that you are required to be lower than 80% HP. So because it has the HP requirement, I would actually be okay chucking this one. I'll leave that one up to you, but Dark Knight Cecil, I'm not a big fan of. It does work good. I will say this, there are certain characters like Dark Knight Cecil, the characters that self-hurt themselves, this actually could have some use. It's just not a ton. So that one I could leave up to you, but there are characters that hurt themselves, like Dark Knight Cecil, that could be a good sphere on, but to me it's not like a must keep, or like I'm not going to want to refine a bunch of those. Yang, Max Brave and attack. Yes, Yang's is good. Attack with Max Brave together, it's a very good combo. Kane. Kane is very good because it's 15% attack for range damage. So it doesn't have as much application, but for as long as you have enough for your range damage dealers, you're good. But I probably would keep some Canes around because that's very good if it's a range damage dealer. Let's see, we got Palum. Just Max Brave alone, I would say Palum you can chuck. Get rid of Palum. Rydia, I've talked about her a lot. I think she's one of the best spheres in the game, so I would keep all the Rydias you get. You're getting brave damage and attack, like the two things that we're trying to target here. So Rydia, yes, keep. Golbez. Attack, yes. It's just an attack sphere, but yeah, Golbez is worth keeping. Bartz. Max Brave only. I would say Bartz. You can chuck Bartz. You don't need to keep Bartz. Gilgamesh. Max Brave and attack combo. Yes, Gilgamesh is good. Next one we've got here. Oh gosh, X-Death. Sorry, I'm going to struggle with names just because there's so many freaking characters. X-Death. Raises attack while there's a debuffed enemy. Yeah, X-Death is worth keeping. Terra. Int Brave and Max Brave, I would say Terra you could probably get rid of. It's a little bit more niche. If you wanted it for like a really good battery character, like sure, it's not the craziest thing in the world, but it's not one where you have to sit there and feel like you have to hold on to your Terra EXs, I feel. Locke, attack when attacking enemy not targeting yourself. Locks is good. The only thing is you can't really control when an enemy targets you and when they don't, unless you have a lock character on your team. The other thing is that any all attacks would make this not work. So I would say there are other attack spheres that are just attack that are probably better than locks. So locks is one you probably could get rid of depending on what you have. Okay, we've got Shadow. Yeah, attack for crit. That's a very good one. His is only for single target, so it's a little bit more niche, but it's still a very easy one to get off. Sabin is max brave only, so I'd say Sabin you can get rid of. Cyan, let me see, attack and max brave limit. Yeah, Cyan's is good. Cyan's got a good one. I would keep those. Edgar, brave damage. Yes, Edgar's is very good for a brave damage sphere. There aren't many pure good brave damage spheres. Edgar actually has a very good one, so Edgar's is definitely worth holding on to. We've got Gao. Brave damage, well max HP. Yes, Gao's is a good ace sphere to hold on to. Let's see, this one here. Oh gosh, Strago. I'm struggling with names here. Okay, Strago. Attack and brave limit when you deal a crit. Yeah, Strago's is worth holding on to. I mean, there's going to be a lot of these worth holding, guys. So you're just going to have to look and see like which ones you have, right? Brave damage, yes, Leo's is good. It's once again, it's a single target though, so there's limited characters you can use it on. But brave damage spheres are good. Cloud. Yeah, brave damage dealt with crits. That one's a little bit more niche, but like there are characters that do a lot of crit hits. Also, anytime enemies are broken, you're always dealing crits. So Clouds is definitely a generic one you could hold on to. Tifa is just an attack sphere generic. Yep, Tifa's worth holding on to. Aerith is worth holding on to. It's a big time magic attack sphere. So for magic damage characters, yes, Aerith is a very, very good one to hold on to. You can see, look, you can tell it's a good one when I've got like 12 of them, right? I refined a bunch of Aerith spheres. So yeah, that one's good. Sid, max brave and brave damage combo for full HP. That's a very easy splashable sphere. So yeah, Sid's is good. Sephiroth, max brave and attack. Yes, that one is very good. Kadaj, max brave and attack combo with a debuffed enemy. Yes, Kadaj is worth keeping. Shulk. She's actually coming up in the next event. Actually, tonight, the night I'm recording this video, Shulk is coming back. I got her blued and ready to go. This is a brave damage and attack combo. So this is going to be like right in line with Rydia as one of the better H spheres because you're getting brave damage and attack. So yes, Shulk is a keep. So if you're pulling on Shulk tonight and you get a bunch of extra EXs, I would definitely hold on to the Shulk spheres for sure. All right. I'm going to just not be able to remember every single name. But yeah, this dude from Final Fantasy VIII, the punchy guy. Attack for weakness damage. Sure, that's a good one to hold on to. All right. Max Brave and attack combo. This one is one of the HP spheres. So I would say this one is probably chuckable just because I'm not a fan of needing to lose HP. Although this character does lower their own HP, right? So if you have it for a character that does already lower their own HP, then it's good. But to me, because it's not like usable on a ton of characters, I think you wouldn't have to worry about saving those ones, right? All right, and then this one here, just a general attack plus 10% when using AoE. Yeah, that one's worth keeping if you want to keep that one. Let's see, Raijin. This is a physical attack sphere, but it's 15%. So yeah, if you have a physical attack character, I think Raijin's is worth keeping. Zadon is just max brave. So Zadon you can chuck. You don't need to keep Zadon. It's max brave only. Vivi, max brave only. You can chuck Vivi. You don't need to keep Vivi. Steiner's just a max brave. Steiner you can get rid of. Kuja, brave damage with group attacks. That's actually a very good one. If it's an AoE character, Kuja's is actually very good. Lulu, who's coming up. Int brave, max brave. So once again, probably can chuck Lulu's unless you have like some type of battery character that you really want the int brave. But I would say Lulu's is probably chuckable because once again, A spheres you want brave damage, attack, things like that. Jekt, int brave and attack. That one's okay. I mean, you're getting attack, so Jekt is worth keeping just for the attack, and then you get the int brave with it. Shantoto, this is int brave, max brave, so I think those are chuckable. So Shantoto, I think you could get rid of. Prish's is good, max brave and attack. That's a good combo. So yes, Prish you can keep. Let's see, Lion. That's just a generic attack sphere, but it's one of those sneak ones. So you have to be attacking an enemy that's not targeting you. So I think it's a little bit more niche. There are better just generic attack spheres you could do. So Lions, I'd say it is keepable, but you wouldn't have to hoard a bunch of them. So Lion you could kind of go either way on just because those sneak attack ones are a little tricky. Aroha, this is brave. So this is kind of like a battery sphere. I don't know. Rojas, I probably wouldn't keep or worry about holding on to. There are some characters that could make use out of it, though, but I don't feel like you'd have to hold on to a bunch of Rojas. Vaughn is, yeah, just max HP, attack 10%. That's a very easy-to-use sphere. Literally any character in the game can use that. So yes, Vaughn is worth keeping. You can see I got quite a few refined ones there. I got 5 of them. Balthier. Balthier's is terrible. Break bonus up. Balthier's is very chuckable. You can just get rid of all those Balthiers. You break bonus up? No, you don't need that. You don't need that. All right, and then Vane. Brave damage by 10%. Yes, that's a very good one. Vane's got a very, very good one. Lightning. Int Brave and attack. It's decent. I would rather have max Brave and attack or Brave damage and attack. So Lightning's, I think, is pretty chuckable because you're going to have so many other A spheres. If you want to keep it, though, not the worst thing. Fang is just a generic attack one. Very good. Very easy to use. So, yes, Fang's is worth keeping. Sid Rains. Sid Rains is niche because it's a knockback sphere, but it does raise attack. So I would say as long as... So, like, if you think you're going to need one for a knockback character, yeah, definitely you can save some Sid Rains, but it's not as usable and generic as some of the other ones. So, Sid Rains you could probably sell off, especially if you know your knockback characters are good to go. Noel, yes, this is a big one. Self-attack 15%. That's a big-time attack sphere. So, yes, Noel's is very good. This one is just Int Brave and attack. So Int Brave and attack I would probably just get rid of. It does have attack on it, but like I said, I'd rather combo with Max Brave. So that one you could probably get rid of. Ida is a Brave damage one. It is a sneak one, though. I'm not a big fan of the sneak ones. But it is good because it's a 10% Brave damage. So there aren't as many Brave damage ones out there. So you could hold on to some Ida ones, but once again, I don't like the sneak attack condition as much as others. Let's see. Papa Limo, magic attack 15%. Very, very good for a magic damage dealer. Yes, Papa Limo is worth holding on to. Alice, magic attack 15%. Yes, very good one for magic damage dealers. Noctis. We're almost to the end here of the A spheres. The other ones will go a lot quicker, guys, all right? Noctis is a niche one because it is a knockback sphere. It is good, it has attack, but I would say the same thing would apply that I talked about the other one. I think Noctis you wouldn't have to hold on to, but if you know that you have knockback characters that you're going to use it on, you could hold them until you're ready to refine it. Whoops, okay, hold on. Accidentally hit the sidebar. I hate when that happens. When I'm like scrolling up and I hit the sidebar and then it like scrolls the wrong way. So let me get back to Noctis here. So Noctis, and we got Arden and Prompto. Okay, so Prompto is a max Brave attack combo, so yes, Prompto's is worth keeping. Core, physical attack up. Yes, Core could be worth holding on to. Physical attack up, a little bit more niche because only works on physical attack characters, but that's still good. Arden is a max Brave attack combo, so yes, Arden's is worth keeping. Aranea is an Int Brave max Brave, so I'd say Aranea is pretty chuckable. You probably don't need to keep her. Agrius is just max Brave only, so I'd say you can get rid of Agrius. Don't need to hold on to hers. Ace is max Brave only. You can get rid of Ace. King, who is coming up, is a big, fat 20% attack, but it's only when you break. So I'd say King's is very good if you have a re-break character that can, like, re-break broken characters. Actually, his is, like, almost a premium on a character like that, like Noel or something like that. I think Zadon's got it a little bit. Aranea can do it. Like, those type of characters, that's actually a really... Attack 20%, like, that's the biggest attack number I think you can get on a sphere. So, yeah, I would definitely hold on to a few Kings if you have them. It's a little bit more niche, but a very strong one. Cater, Int Brave and attack. It's when evading, so evade spheres, I definitely don't think you need to hold on to those. Just get the one you're going to get... Because here's the thing, there's so few evade characters in the game. Typically, their own sphere is going to have the evade condition on it, and you'll have enough to give to your evade characters you're using. So I honestly don't think you need to hold on to a bunch of Cater. So Cater, I think you could probably chuck, just because it's very niche. Sevens is actually very good. It's a Brave damage, 10% for weakness damage. I actually put 2 of those on my Prish. I did refine them. I did 2 sevens and a Rydia on my Prish. So my Prish is pretty maxed out. Here's a sync one. This is... It's a Brave Gain one. So I think the Brave Gain ones are pretty chuckable, so you could get rid of that one. Machina, Int Brave and attack. You could keep it for sure because it's got a good attack on it. I would rather have it with max Brave, but Int Brave and Attack isn't bad, so Machinas you could keep. 8 is 20% when evading. So yeah, it's another one of those niche evade ones, but it's very powerful, right? So if you're running 8 or another evade character, you can put it on them, but I don't know that you need to hold on to extra 8s, because like I said, there's so few evade characters in the game. Jack is a Brave damage attack combo, so Jack is going to be one of the better spheres in the game. Definitely hold on to your Jacks. Those are very, very good. Trey is a max Brave attack combo, which is very good, so Trey's is definitely worth keeping. Let's see. This one here is a Brave gain one. Raises Brave limit. I would say that one's probably chuckable. Yuri is a max Brave attack combo, and it's a very easy condition, so yes, Yuri would be worth holding. What do we got here? Max Brave only, so you can get rid of that one. This one here is an attack when doing a chain attack. So that one's pretty niche. Once again, that's a launch sphere. So the launch spheres, I'd say, are pretty chuckable. Our boy Jagrin is a Brave damage with max Brave. I would say that's definitely keepable. So if you have extra Jagrins, that is good because it's got a good combo. We got the Twins here. That's a max Brave only. So I'd say the Twins are chuckable. And a Crow is Int Brave and Attack on weakness damage. So yeah, that's keepable. I don't think you'd have to prioritize hoarding those, but it's decent, so you could hold on to extra and a Crow if you have them. Alright, so that's the end of the A sphere. So guys, in general, once again, you're just prioritizing attack and Brave damage, and then maybe some combos with max Brave and Brave damage or max Brave and Attack. That's really what you're prioritizing there, right? Or magic attack, physical attack, stuff like that is all good. Alright, so for the B slot, let's see what's worth keeping here. So Warrior of Light. 10% Brave damage reduction. I think that is pretty good. I think that one, these ones are going to be a lot more like kind of up to you. There might be a few that are like must keeps, but Warrior of Light, I would say reducing Brave damage is decent. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if you'll notice that 10% a ton. So it's totally up to you. Guy is just raising max Brave, and I don't like the condition of taking HP damage. So I'd say Guy's is very chuckable because you have to take HP damage. Layla. When targeted, raises max Brave by 10%. It's okay. I mean, for a B slot, raising your max Brave is okay, but Layla's I don't think is anything you would have to keep. Edge is, I mean, once again, it's an evade sphere. It is a very, very good Brave gain on it, but I don't think you need to hold on to a bunch of edges because, once again, you don't have a ton of evade characters. You might hold on to one or two if you think you're going to use it, because it's not only an evade character, but it has to be an evade character with a B slot, and B slots aren't the most common, right? Galef. Galef is worth keeping. It's another evade one, though, but it is an evade attack 10%, and attack isn't as common on the B sphere, so I would definitely maybe hold on to an extra Galef or two. Celis is pretty good. Yeah, anytime you use an ability, you're getting a lot of Brave gain, so it is pretty good. People are telling me it's not as good on Celis because she's slower, but if it's a character that takes more turns, like these Brave gain B slots are actually not bad. So Celis, I think, is a good one to keep. Zac. When after attacking a target yourself, it's another Brave gain one, right? So Zac's is very good too, because you have to remember the B slots are typically going to be on tanks anyways. So typically tanks will have some way to lock. So on a character that can lock, Zac's is actually very good. So his is a B slot worth keeping, I would say. This one here reduces HP damage by 10%. Like, just in general, I think that is a really good B slot, and it's a very generic one that you can do. So, like, Kamari's, I think, is actually quite good, because you're literally just reducing damage that you're taking, and it's very splashable onto any character. So, yeah, I think Kamari's is definitely a good one to hold on to. Oh, geez, it did it again. I hate grabbing the side. Okay, at least it's a little easier to find here. All right, so let's look at this one here. So this one is... Oh, when taking HP damage, I mean, 20% up for attack is actually very good. So, I think Bosch's is worth keeping. You're just going to want to make sure you put it on a tank, which a B slot is. But yeah, 20% attack up. Bosch's is very, very good. It is an HP damage condition that I don't like, but I like the HP damage condition more on a B sphere because it is a tank sphere. So they're meant to be tanking attacks. And the way Bosch specifically works, that B slot, like on Zac or Bosch, is very good because they absorb all the AoE damage. So yeah, that's a very, very good one. I do really like Gabrance because it is just generic Brave damage reduction. So it's a very good generic B slot. I do like Gabrance a lot. Snow's is fantastic. Keep Snow's because Like I said, if it's a tank, they probably have a lock mechanic, and you just instantly get 10% attack. So Snows is definitely one of the better ones to keep. And Gladios is also very good. It is the only one that affects party attack. So Gladios is probably one of the better B slots to hold on to as well. It is an HP damage requirement, but once again, these tanks are meant to be taking HP damage anyways. So yeah, Gladio, definitely keep Gladio. All right, C slot. There's going to be some definite like big time keepers here. Maria for sure is a big time keeper. Int Brave and attack after recovering HP. That's a very, very good one for the C slot specifically, right? Now you might be saying, well, you saw Int Brave and attack in the A slot and you weren't as, high on those, but that's because this is C slot. C slot has different things on it. It's not all about attack and brave damage. So when you get any type of attack like that on a C slot, it's very good, right? Leon. It's kind of like a brave gain one. I would say Leon's is a little bit niche. It's when you're recovering HP in excess of your max HP, you get more brave gain on it. So it can be a good one. For sure it can be a good one, but it's got to be on like a character that heals, right? So Leon's, I don't think it's as necessary. Paladin Cecil, like probably the MVP C-Sphere in the game. It's like the best one. You need as many. Paladin Cecil, do not ever, ever, ever sell a Paladin Cecil EX. His is one of the best like spheres in general in the game because of the way it interacts with the encouragement armor. This is probably like the first like mega big that I'm like, just you need as many of these as possible. Paladin Cecil's amazing. I have 5 refined right now. I started with like 19. I had 19 of these refined. I'm down to 5. That's how many Paladin Cecil spheres I've used on characters. So definitely save your Paladin Cecils. They are so good. Rosa. It's kind of like an HP regen one. That's a little bit more niche. It's if you want to give a little bit of HP recovery to characters that don't have it. I'd say Rosa's fairly sellable though. Palum. It's another HP restore one, like whenever you buff. So yeah, it's decent, right? I would prioritize other spheres first. So I would say Palum is sellable, but if you want to have the option of some HP, gain in a character that doesn't do it, sure. Theodore is another one. So Theodore's I do think is worth holding on to a little bit. I would say Theodore's is the best like HP recovery sphere of the ones that we've talked about. But it's basically if you break or attack a broken target, you do party HP restore, which is very good. So this can actually add a lot to other characters that don't do healing. You can actually, you can't slap a Theodore sphere on someone and expect them to be your main healer, but it is a great way to get a little bit of HP kind of regen going in the party. So yeah, Theodore's is worth keeping. I really like it. As you can see, I refined 18 of them. Haven't really been using them, but I did refine a lot of them. Let's go to this one here. That's Party Brave. Okay, so this is a pretty good Brave Gain one. So if you like Brave Gain, you definitely could hold on to one of these. To me, it's not like a must keep all the time, but it wouldn't hurt to hold on to some Brave Gain ones. Lena's. That one's it's just an Int Brave one, so I'd say Lena's is fairly chuckable. You don't really need to hold on to that. Let's see. Max. That's just a Max Brave one, so I'd say that one you could get rid of. Selfie. Party's Int Brave and Max Brave. Okay. That one's decent. Like when you recover, it does a little bit of battery. So selfies is okay. So if you wanted to keep those, you could. But I wouldn't blame you if you just wanted to sell off your selfies. Not a big deal. Ico. And keep in mind, I should have said this at the beginning. But if you haven't purpled a weapon yet, you shouldn't be like selling it off. You always purple at least the first one. This is talking about like when you get extra ones on ones that you already have maxed out, like what to do with them. Because some people want to know, can I just sell them for power stones right away? Or should I save them to refine later, right? So Ico's, so it's just a self-heal one. So like I said, if you're going to go the healing route, you're better off holding on the Theodore because it's going to do it for the party. But if you want to give a character self-heal, you could hold on Ico, but I'd say she's pretty sellable. Garnet's is definitely like a must-keep. If you want a character to kind of have a selfish attack buff, hers is one of the better C-slot attack buffing ones for like the character that has it equipped. Garnet's is ridiculously good, so Garnet's is definitely a hold on to. Yuna. This is another kind of battery one. So once again, the battery ones I think you can go either way on. Lilith. This is another Brave Gain one. So I would say Brave Gain ones you could keep or sell. It's totally up to you. I did it again. Hold on. Okay, so we just did Lilith. Alright, so now we're on this one. When inflicting a break. Okay, so this is a Brave Regen one. So yeah, the Brave Regen ones, I would say it's up to you if you want to keep those or not. That was on Arciela, by the way. Penelo, another Brave Gain one. So Brave Gain one, you decide. I would say you definitely don't need to keep all of these Brave Gain ones. If you want to hold on to one or two, it's not the worst idea. But I don't find myself using the Brave Gain ones very often because I would rather do like an attack or like add healing to a character or something like that. Or Paladin Cecil, obviously, if it's an encouragement armor. But yeah, if you want some of those other Brave Gain ones, hold on to one or two of those, but you could probably get rid of some of them. Lewd. Yes, Lewd's is one of the better ones. So Lewd is a party attack up just for recovering HP. So Lewd, definitely hold on to extra Lewds if you got them. Ishtola is another Brave Gain one. It is a fairly strong Brave Gain, so you decide on the Brave Gain ones if you want to keep them or not. Alphanod is an Int Brave and attack one after grabbing a buff. Alphanod is one of the more common C spheres I recommend in the game, so definitely hold on to Alphanod. It's one of the better ones. It's one of the few that can do party attack, so yes, keep that one. Rem, it's an HP requirement one, less than 50%. All you have to do is read that first line, and that tells you it's very sellable. Rem is definitely not worth keeping. 9 is an HP restore one. Once again, I like Theodore as the best HP restore one, so you probably get rid of your 9s. Charlotta, it's another Brave Regen one, so I would say those are pretty chuckable, but if you want to keep one or two, that's fine. So that's it for the C slot. Let's go to the D slot, and then we have the E slot. All right. So this is a party attack up after granting a buff. So yes, any of those are very good. So this would be a very good one to hold on to. Let's see, everyone's favorite Spoony Bard. Int Brave and Max Brave, I would say that one's pretty sellable. Oh gosh, Ursula, yes, just remembered her name. So Party Max Brave, I would say you don't really need to keep Ursula. Mog is another Max Brave one. I'd say Mog is pretty sellable. Kate Sith is another Max Brave. I'd say that's sellable. Barrett is another Max Brave. That's sellable. Cisne. Cisne is actually keepable, and she's very relevant. She's out right now. So if you pulled extra Cisnes, definitely hold on to those, because that is a Max Brave attack combo. Actually, one of the better D slots you could have, right? Freya, you don't really need to... Freya's is really interesting, because it's an HP up. Really, the main way you want to use Freya's is you want to put it on Lena. If you have Freya's on Lena, I don't think you really need extra Freya spheres, but make sure you get your one to put on Lena, because Lena scales specifically on HP. So you definitely want Freya's as like best in slot for Lena, but other than that, you don't need extra Freya's. So Freya's probably sellable. Beatrix is just a Max Brave, so that's sellable. Waka's is good. It's just that Waka you can't use on a ton of characters, right? But it's a Max Brave and attack, which is ridiculously good. So I would hold on to your Wakas, but just keep in mind that not every character can utilize it because you have to have 5 or more buffs. So it's only on heavy buff characters, but yes, please keep Waka because he is very good. This one, Int Brave only. I would say you can chuck the Int Brave only. Ashes is one that I use quite a bit. Is a party attack that's fairly generic and easy to use. I would keep every Ash that you get. It is a very good usable D slot on a bunch of characters. She's probably one of the better MVP D spheres out there. Our boy Saz is party attack on crit hit. Yes, Saz is very good. Keep all of your Saz ones. Hope is a very good one. Keep Hope. It is a Max Brave and attack. Very, very good sphere. So Hope's is also one of probably the best D spheres in the game. Definitely keep those. Lisa's a party attack. So yes, Lisa's is worth keeping as well. Our favorite Final Fantasy 15 chef is Max Brave only, so let's get rid of those. You don't need to keep those. Ramza is an Int Brave Max Brave. More for battery characters. It's usable. It's up to you. I would say it's probably sellable for me, but if you wanted to hold on to them, that's fine. We've got our favorite flute player here, party attack with 3 or more active buffs. Yes, that is a very good one. Keep that one. And then our last D slot is Queen, is Max Brave and attack. Queen is another one of the better D spheres in the game. Keep your queens if you've got them. All right, finally, we're on to the E slot. There are actually a lot of interesting E slot options. First off, Emperor, yes, that's a keep. That is an attack up on debuff. Ferris, yes, that is a keep because Ferris can allow your other characters to inflict poison. You definitely want to hold on to this. And Ferris, though, you don't need the full spheres necessarily. It just makes the poison better. Typically, what you want the poison for is to help take orbs. So it's nice to be able to, even with the refined Ferris, it's not as strong of a poison, but you're still doing the poison, right? So Ferris, whether it's refined or regular, you can see I've got 10 refined Ferris. That's a very good sphere worth holding on to. All right. Our boy Setzer is a speed down. So what I'm going to say with the E slots is I would definitely keep at least 1 or 2 extra of any of the generic debuff ones, just because you want to have the options to add those debuffs to other characters. So 20% speed down I think is worth keeping a couple of, but you wouldn't have to keep a million of those, okay? Realm, who is coming up very soon, is a defense down. So I'd say, yep, a defense down is worth keeping just to have 1 or 2 on hand, but you don't need a ton of them. You just want to have the option, right, to give some of these debuffs to other characters. Kefka is a magic attack up. Yes, very, very strong. If you're going the more offensive route, Kefka, you definitely want to have some of those on hand for your magic damage dealers, because to get that much attack out of an E slot is actually very, very good. Yuffie, yes, Yuffie's is probably one of the best generic E slots in the game for buffing stats. Max Brave and attack just for inflicting a debuff. So yes, Yuffie's is one of the best. You can see I've got 10 refined ones. You can tell when I'm picking out the really good ones because I refine a lot of them. Vincent, who's coming up, is a big time attack down. Yes, Vincent, that attack down is very good. Obviously, you're going to get better attack downs on actual like characters doing the debuff, but if you're running a team comp with no attack down, like having that is actually not bad. 30% is decent. Reno lowers physical attack after inflicting break. That one's more niche because you can't guarantee, like, it's dependent on the fight, right? You might be fighting against magic characters or fighting against physical damage. So I would actually say you're safe to sell off Reno, because if I'm going to use up my valuable E slot, I want to use it on something I can use in any fight, not only for some fight. So I'd say Reno is sellable. Laguna is a big time max brave down. That is a very good one. So definitely save a few of those because that's a good debuff. Irvine's is definitely worth keeping. Big time ranged attack up. You can't use it on a ton of characters, but for an E slot, that's a very good attack buff for a ranged damage dealer. Quistis is raising party max brave. I would say Quistis is sellable. Fujin is another speed down, so I'd say if you just to have a speed down option, keep a couple of Fujins, but you don't need a ton of them. Ultimecia is a defense down, so kind of same philosophy. Just try to make sure you have at least one of each of the debuffs, no matter which character it's from. Titus is a good speed down, so once again, just if you want to have a speed down option, keep some, but you don't have to keep them all. Auron is a melee attack one, so yes, Auron is definitely worth keeping because it is a solid attack buff that a lot of characters can use. Seymour is also a must keep. Keep all of your Seymours. It is just a generic raising attack for debuffing. Very, very, very good on the E slot. Pain is a party attack up when attacking weakness. Pain is actually one of the better E slots in the game as long as you're using a weakness damage character because you're getting party attack up and lowering attack enemies at the same time. That's very, very good. Pain's is fantastic. Then we have our boy Camelnut, or I call him Camelnut. He's going to be busted for FR, by the way. He's like one of the more busted FR characters in the game. So if you want a meta stomp, pick up Camelnut's stuff. He's actually one of the earlier ones. I want to say he's like the 4th or 5th FR character. He comes relatively soon, though. His is a 6-turn attack down. So yeah, an attack down is definitely worth holding on to. You don't need to keep a bunch, though. El Nacho raises his own max brave. El Nacho is very sellable. Fran is a max brave down. Fran is worth keeping a few, just like the other debuffs. And then this, I think, is the best sphere in the game out of all typings. You definitely want to keep as many of these as possible. This is Veneal Sphere, which basically, and this one is more important, you want like the full sphere. So keep as many Veneal EXs as possible. But basically, all you have to do is when you break a character, you remove a buff. So it allows you to add Dispel to any character in the game. This is really good on break-rebreak characters like Bane, like Aeronea, like Zadon. Characters like that make a lot of use out of the Veneal Sphere. This is the single sphere I've refined the most EXs. I think I've done like 5 or 6 of these full sphered, and I have them on characters. But I think this is the single best sphere in the game because Dispel is a very important mechanic and not a lot of characters have it. So Veneal is a must keep. Keep every single Veneal EX for sure. Sarah, just a max brave one that is sellable. Thancred. This is a poison one. So you could hold on to that if you want a poison on a weakness damage character for sure. Ferris is a little bit more generic and easy to use, so I'd prioritize Ferris first, but Thancred is good. And then this one here is another speed down. So we've seen a couple of speed downs already, so just keep the one you'd want to keep. And then a Miditelion. This is a Brave Gain one. So yes, you could hold on to this just to have a little bit more Brave Gain for certain characters. Not like a must keep all the time, but I would say it's definitely decent. So there you go, guys. That's my quick take on every sphere. Which ones are must keeps, which ones maybe you should for sure sell, which ones you can kind of decide on your own. Hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one.